And then Xavier University honors distinguished individuals and awards them honorary degrees. In the spirit of recognizing such an accomplished person, Barbara Howard will present today's degree recipient.
Thank you. Will Stephen Melink please come forward? Stephen K. Melink. Xavier President Michael J. Graham of the Society of Jesus said, "He's an example of truly transcendent leadership, exactly the kind of leadership lauded by Pope Francis." But Stephen Melink is more than a leader. He is a national clean energy expert, a corporate CEO, an author, and he has served on the Xavier University's Sustainability Academic Advisory Board since its inception in 2015. A licensed professional engineer in Ohio, Stephen is founder and CEO of Melink Corporation, a pioneer and leader in energy efficiency and renewable energy solutions for the commercial building industry since 1987. He is a national expert and speaker on sustainability, green buildings, and clean energy. Stephen has met several times with the staff of the White House, the U.S. Department of Energy, and the Environmental Protection Agency, all located in Washington. And he's testified before the Ohio legislature on numerous occasions as well. With degrees from Duke and Vanderbilt universities, he has invented, among other things, a pre-engineered pumping station for geothermal HVAC systems, as well as the first variable speed controls for commercial ventilation systems, something he did in 1990. He holds several related U.S. and foreign patents and helped change building codes to allow this technology to be required in many instances. Based in Cincinnati, the Melink Corporation comprises 4 growing businesses: Melink T&B, which provides heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, HVAC, testing and balance services; IntelliHood, which manufactures energy savings controls for commercial kitchen ventilation systems; Melink Solar, which develops solar photovoltaic projects; and Melink GEO, which finances and commissions geothermal HVAC systems. In recognition of his public service and for exemplifying the values and mission of Xavier University, Xavier is proud to award Stephen Melink the Doctor of Humanities honoris causa. Congratulations.
Father Graham, Xavier Board of Trustees, faculty and administration, and graduates. Thank you for the opportunity to share my perspective on life beyond the graduate school experience. I'm honored and humbled to be here. As I approach the zenith of my career and reflect on what has most contributed to my success and happiness, the answer is unequivocal. My Catholic faith has served as the bedrock for everything that I am today and hope to be tomorrow. Certainly your advanced degrees, whether they be in business, education, health, or nursing, will serve as building blocks to your career plans and ambitions. But your future success and happiness will depend more on who you are than what you do. Pay more attention to your principles and values than adding bullet points to your resume. As a business leader, my #1 responsibility is to build a great company culture that inspires others to do their best work. If I do that, my company will naturally attract and retain good people. When I say good people, I don't mean those with the most credentials and highest GPAs. I mean people whom I can depend and trust, people who exude integrity, a strong work ethic, and positive attitude. Give me employees with these three qualities, and I can generally count on my company being successful. The technical knowledge and skills you now bring to bear are important, but your character is and always will be more important. The life lessons your parents, teachers, and coaches taught you from 1 till now will better determine your future success and happiness than new theories, strategies, and analytical tools. Therefore, when I interview candidates, I try to get to the heart of who they are, more than what they know. I ask them, what is your brand? Yes, what is your personal brand? We all know that companies have brands, but we as individuals also have one. Let me explain. What is Apple's brand? Well, when I think of Apple, I think of words like cool, innovative, and insanely great. More than likely, you think of similar words. What is BMW's brand? For me, it is German engineering, performance, and luxury. Is your image of them much different? Probably not. How about Xavier University? I think of the words Jesuit, liberal arts, and men's basketball. Organizations invest years and millions of dollars building a brand that hopefully inspires followers, from customers to employees to investors. The reason is the greatest value of any enterprise is its brand, its reputation, its image in the marketplace. Other assets like buildings, inventory, and cash are small in comparison. What is United Airlines' brand? Is the company worth more or less as a result of the actions of a few employees last month? What is Wells Fargo's brand after charging thousands of customers for checking and credit card services they never asked for? What is Volkswagen's brand after cheating government emissions tests so they could sell more cars in the US? My point is, brands are everything in the business and academic world, and I submit that your personal brand is everything too, for the same reason. It is the essence of who you are. Don't be fooled. False advertising does not make your brand. People can usually spot a phony. Therefore, be authentic. Be true to yourself. Your brand is how you think, talk, and act when no one is looking. For this reason, I believe there is no greater brand than one built on integrity. Because it comes down to this: if people cannot trust you, what is the basis of your relationships? This is true whether they be your marriage, your friendships, or business partnerships. As an employer, as well as a husband and father, I want to surround myself with people who make me a better person, not tempt me to be less than what God intended. Of course, there will always be people in our life who pull us down. The question is, do we recognize this as an opportunity? Because the opportunity is raise them up instead. If your 10 closest friends and relatives do not mention the words respectful, honest, ethical, or some other variant when describing your brand, why is that? Don't you want people to instantly recognize this as your core attribute? Yes, people are multidimensional. Some are funny, some are smart, some are leaders, some are all of these. But don't you want to be known as a person of integrity before being known as funny or smart? Let's assume you meet this minimum standard right now. You should, after all, graduating from a Jesuit Catholic university. The next question is, can you take for granted that your brand in the safe, affirming culture of Xavier will survive and thrive in the secular world outside of Xavier? Most of you have already experienced the secular world to some degree, but perhaps have not thought of it as being a future threat to your personal brand. Know this: secularism is out there waiting for you. It can't wait to pull you down constantly, like gravity, 24/7, 365. Your brand will be tested every day in small and large ways. How you respond will either polish, scruff, or destroy your brand. Will you be intentional about how you respond? People are watching you. your coworkers, supervisors, neighbors, family members, your children? Which of your good deeds and bad deeds will be multiplied downstream by others? Do they add up to the brand you want in life? Sometimes we must be willing to learn from those younger and more innocent than ourselves. About 20 years ago, one of my kids came home from Catholic grade school and told me what WWJD stands for. For those who don't know, it means, what would Jesus do? I thought, what a simple and powerful rule to live by. Though I had been a lifelong Catholic, I was not invoking Jesus' name in everyday decisions. It was such an obvious approach to Christian living. How had I never thought of it before? I know not everyone is at the same point on their faith journey. Therefore, while I started asking myself, WWJD more and more, I did not feel comfortable asking my employees this question. But I could take the essence of WWJD and make that part of my company culture. So I selected the word integrity and declared it a core value. I love the word integrity. Jesus embodied integrity in everything he said and did. But it is not a biblical term that might make people think I was trying to convert them. Most people don't want to be converted, yet everyone wants to learn and be inspired. Therefore, I took the earnest approach that I was educating and inspiring those around me. I just happened to call it integrity. Despite this lesson, I still struggled at times with the apparent contradictions of being a Catholic while being a business owner. Wasn't maximizing profits and crushing the competition in some ways antithetical to being a Christian? A few years later, I asked this question to a business coach. How do I reconcile my Christian values with business best practices? I will never forget his simple two-word answer: integrate them. In other words, Steve, integrate your Christian values into your business best practices. Like WWJD, the simple and obvious nature of his response was empowering. Then a few years later, a third lightning bolt struck. A friend recommended I read a book called Visioneering by Andy Stanley. It became the affirmation I needed at that time to become a better leader. In short, the author suggested that God made me CEO for a reason, and that he was in effect telling me, here, Steve, stand on this stage and take this microphone. I want your help. This rocked my world. I not only had permission to create a business vision and mission that was holistic and Christian, I was also empowered to exert my slowly developing leadership ability toward this vision and mission. The unexpected outcome was that I slowly but surely gained a sense of who God wanted me to be. I then saw a direct connection between my work and my faith. There were no contradictions anymore. In this self-awareness gave me a passion for my work that I never had before. Suddenly, I felt truly successful and happy. I know not everyone has a sense of vocation, and I went through most of my career not knowing mine. But I believe God has a purpose for everyone, and that we can know it over time if we pray and ask, what would Jesus do? A few weeks ago on spring break, my kids asked about my message to all of you here today. Upon sharing my view that secularism will be a new reality for many graduates, my daughter said, Dad, secularism is not necessarily a bad thing. From her view, religion causes much of what ails society. Wars are caused by religion, and our nation's founding fathers enshrined the separation of church and state into our Constitution for a reason. My point to her was that there is only one God, not a different God for each religion, and it is man who has messed up the religion thing, not God. Perhaps government, being an imperfect institution, operates best when church and state are separated. But I told my daughter, our founding fathers, as human as they were, based their thinking on Christian principles that are largely consistent with most other faiths. And personally, I was not a good business leader when I was living two separate lives, one on Sunday while going to Mass, and one during the week while compromising my values in the name of business. I'm not sure I won the argument in her mind, but I am sure that asking myself WWJD and integrating my faith in my work has enhanced my career. Moreover, that standing on God's stage has made me a better leader and given me greater success and happiness than I deserve. Your advanced degrees will open new doors of opportunity. Highly developed left brains are in high demand in our high-tech world. But your true success and happiness will mostly come from decisions made with your right brain. If you live a life of integrity, the hard decisions will become more clear to you. They may not be easier, but they will be more clear. And your brain will stand out like the North Star in the night sky, big, bright, and beautiful. You will attract more and better customers. You will attract more and better employees. You will attract more and better investors and lenders. These are strategic advantages. Along the way, you might even discover your true calling in life. So don't settle for a job if all it means is you wake up every day to sell more products and services that you don't believe in. And don't settle for a career if in your heart you don't think it truly reflects God's plan for you. Find your purpose and pursue it with passion. You chose Xavier over other institutions for a reason. Hopefully you valued its Christian foundation, Catholic traditions, and Jesuit ideals. Continue to embrace the truths you learned here, most especially that love conquers all. Make this central to your brand, even if you must call it something benign like integrity. Because someday your brand will become your legacy. Make it count. Graduates, congratulations on your achievement. I wish you much success and happiness in the future.